Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily, How to Stay Active When You Have a Family, Part 2, by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. Hello, everybody. I am Greg Audino, and welcome back to the podcast that's all about strengthening the many relationships in your life. Today on OID, as we might call it here in Rhode Island, we are finishing up with Part 2 of Steve Kamb's article. So, if you are new here, well, first of all, welcome to the show, but also check out yesterday's episode first to hear Part 1. And if you'd like to stay connected with the old family outside of these episodes, remember to sign up to our weekly newsletter at oldpodcast.com. But for now, let's jump into Part 2 of Steve's great content and continue optimizing your life. How to Stay Active When You Have a Family, Part 2, by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. A continuation from Part 1 on exercising anytime, anywhere. My favorite response. Now, admittedly, I don't have any children. Heck, I don't even have an imaginary girlfriend. But I do have a giant family of about 197,000 nerds, many of whom do have families. So, last week, we asked the nerd fitness community, how do you stay active with your family? We had a ton of great responses, which we'll get to shortly. I wanted to share with you my favorite response from Haiku, who explains that staying active can be incredibly easy when the family doesn't realize it's exercise. We tend to have the most success when they don't realize it's exercise. We go to the park and kick around the soccer balls or shoot hoops. They love to fly kites. If you go on a not terribly windy day, the only way they can get their kite to fly is run. They don't even realize they're wearing themselves out. Hikes are great as well as swimming, anything disguised as a game. They also love to ride their bikes or get into little challenges at home on the living room floor. I can do X amount of push-ups, how many can you do? I love this answer, as it really reinforces the need to look at fitness as something other than fitness. You're not exercising to lose weight or because you should exercise, but because you're having fun and challenging yourself in a way that doesn't feel like exercise. I find that I have the most success with improving my health and physique when my goals are focused completely on something other than my health and physique. Some more tips from the rebellion. Along with those great responses, our awesome community answered the call and provided tons of excellent insight and experience. Remember, we're all in this together. Don't feel like you need to reinvent the wheel when you have your fellow rebels fighting the same battle alongside you. Here are some of our favorite responses. Stefan used technology and gamification to his advantage. We tried geocaching this weekend in a large forest with hills. Seems like a great form of family exercise. Our kids at 4 and 6 loved it. Chris has found a way to incorporate his 6-year-old daughter into his workouts. My 6-year-old daughter and I do things together. She rounds up us adults for walks, and we've done daddy-daughter kettlebell workouts together. My tip is to include them in what I'm doing. If your little ones have a passion or want to be just like you, let them. Sure, they might not be able to keep up or have great form, but it's our job to show them that it's fun and encourage them to start these healthy habits early. At Ska Schmidt instilled the love of exercise early. My 2.5-year-old loves doing a little circuit of running and push-ups in the backyard. My 5-week-old, not so much though. Diana reminds us that this doesn't have to be complicated. My dad and I used to cut wood and move for the open fire together. Short Gorilla has instilled a love for exercise. My kids like to do push-ups and sit-ups and stuff with me, and they'll watch me lift in the basement sometimes. They like to do body weight exercises and run with me for treasure coins. We try to teach them that exercise is fun and rewarding. The kids will do a combination of squats, burpees, sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks, and mountain climbers. My 4-year-old likes to pretend to clean and press too. Bari prefers a more formal route to stay connected with his family. My siblings and I do 5Ks together, even though we live in different cities. At Josh_Crocker turns everything into a game. We have young children and make all of it a playful game. Family walks, tag, hide and seek. Ryev recognizes the wisdom of not forcing activities you don't find enjoyable. I have a teenage daughter as well. She doesn't really care about exercising, but this coming weekend we're driving to a good hiking spot so we can all hike to the waterfalls. Where she doesn't care about exercising, she loves the outdoors. So we do things outdoors where she can get moving and get the heart rate up in a way she finds fun. So she doesn't even realize dear old dad is making her exercise. Hiking, exploring, climbing, swimming, these are the things I do with her. Healthy families are strong families. I want to leave you with one final thought. You're a superhero to your family, whether you realize it or not. You are your kids' or your partner's biggest hero. It's time to decide what kind of superpower you have. Is it super strength, lightning fast reflexes, or the ability to sit on the couch and watch TV for hours on end? How you act will determine the health and habits your family builds too. They will do what you do, not what you say to do. If we can instill the habit of health, fitness, and happiness in ourselves, our families are more likely to grow up healthy and not deal with the health issues that come with being overweight and out of shape. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, How to Stay Active When You Have a Family by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. And I'll be back shortly with my comments. Thanks again to Steve for allowing us to read this wonderful essay. Key stuff here, and great feedback from his readers. As that Chris character mentioned so wonderfully, it is as much about the bond and the inclusion as it is the exercise itself. So a big takeaway from another viewer is that it shouldn't feel like exercise. And that goes for the parents too. Getting your kids healthier need not be seen as an obligation for you as a parent, but instead just another way to strengthen your bond with your children. So, with that, let's sign off on today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me here once again. I will be back tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.